Fire them up. That's what we do at the Andrew Gosser Show. We fire them up right here on 1039 WYAB, where we are streaming on Rumble. We are streaming on X. We are streaming on YouTube. No one cares about Facebook, and we are streaming at the mothership that is WYAB.com. You can't pick up the 50,000 watt blowtorch of a signal that is 1039 WYAB. Help us grow the station. Help us grow the channels. Like, share, and subscribe. Tell a friend, tell a neighbor, tell a Democrat, tell a liberal. Like, share, and subscribe. Follow me on X. It's just at Andrew Gosser, AndrewGasser. Phone number today, 601-879-0002. Text line is open at 601-879-5060. And the mission here at the Andrew Gosser Show is standard. It is standard, ladies and gentlemen. We are here to equip the saints. Who are the saints? You all are the saints. A gentle answer turns away wrath, but a harsh word incites anger. And I'm going to try to do that today, but it's not going to end up that way. It's going to be pretty fiery. And there were two places for me to start today's show. One was the educational route, or one was the media route, then getting into the education. And I have decided, good morning, Brother Dogfish, I have decided to go the educational route. And we have to go and look at our history, because everybody says that we're supposed to remember our history, remember our ancestors. And we're going to go back more than just 250 years, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to go back to the great republics and the great democracies throughout history. And each one has lasted roughly, give or take, 200 years before it's collapsed. But there are stages to this, ladies and gentlemen. There are phases to this, ladies and gentlemen. And unfortunately, our education system is doing an absolutely poor job of educating the youths of America on the lifestyle. Well, they're doing a great job of teaching alternative lifestyles, which are now becoming mainstream lifestyles, but life cycles is what I meant to say, life cycles of republics and democracies. All republics, all democracies start from bondage to spiritual faith. It's not even debatable. Not even debatable. America, we had Christians come across the sea and start founding America. Now, you can say that they did other stuff besides spiritual faith, but the spiritual faith component cannot be denied. And every left-wing lunatic who's sitting in the K through 12 education system right now will rip it out of America's fabric to the nth degree. Spiritual faith to great courage. That's phase 2, ladies and gentlemen. That's when we were getting ready to stand up to England. From courage to liberty. That's where we fought the Revolutionary War, and dare I say the Civil War as well. You can say the Civil War was for financial reasons. Some can say it was for emancipation. I think both are true. I think both are true. And then from liberty, where we had real liberty after the 1870 to about 1920, actually to 1917, when we got the 16th and 17th Amendment. That's when we gave up our liberty. But we went from courage to liberty, and from liberty to abundance, mass abundance. We didn't even have income tax, and we had more money than we knew what to do with. From abundance, we went to selfishness. But we did it under the guise of Social Security and programs for the poor and the oppressed. We went from abundance to selfishness, and then from selfishness to complacency. All throughout the 50s and 60s, we just kept on giving up more and more of our liberty. And we were complacent because, hey, we all getting it good. Even the people who were quote-unquote oppressed were homeowners. Were there still bad people around? Absolutely. Are we still under the effects of Woodrow Wilson and the things he did in the White House that no one will talk about? Yes, absolutely. But everybody's boat was rising with the tide. And we got complacent. And from complacent, we became apathy. In the late 60s and 70s, you had the free love movement, started legalizing dope, started taking out religion. And then in the 80s and 90s, e even 2000s, really actually, let's just go through from the 90s to where we're at now. We went from apathy to dependence. Now you need that EBT check, that SNAP check. You need that welfare. We've got baby mamas who have 5 babies from 5 different daddies who get that government check. They're dependent on it. You take away that Social Security from that 80-year-old widow. We've set up this house of cards because we fell asleep at the wheel. We took our liberty and freedom for granted. We took God's blessing to this country for granted. And now we've got all these soothsayers and prognosticators and pundits telling us everything we gotta do to fix the country, except what will actually fix the country. And they silo all the dependents up. You got the Somalis over here, you got the illegals over there, you got the Mexicans over here, you got the white people over there, you got the black people over here, you've got the indigenous people over here, you got the Indians over there, the Chinese, the Koreans, fill in the blank. Temporary protected status for the Haitians. Going on for 15 years. What's the term temporary mean? And we start putting in insurgents, spies, schemers, philanderers into positions of power. And it's not a big deal. It's just a small town judge. It's a stepping stone. Everything that I'm telling you, everything that I've been preaching for the last year and a half on this radio program about start small, the only people who are listening to it are the Democrats, Socialists of America. Democrats aren't listening to it. Republicans sure as hell ain't listening to it. We don't wanna build a bench in our political system. Well, you know who does wanna build the political bench? The socialists and the communists. Andy, I don't have enough time to be a precinct delegate. I don't have enough time to be a county supervisor. That's just beneath me. Yeah, the apathy, the dependence. You try to take away dependent pro look at it, Jackson, you can say this about any Republican city too, but I'm gonna use Jackson because Jackson's the biggest city in Mississippi. It's our state it's the state seat. It's the capital of our state. You start taking away dependent programs out of Jackson and see how quick the riots well up. And it's all a giant charade. And Dogfish coming in saying Mike is delusional. I'm not sure what. Look, Mike Madison, he's got points. It's just that when you're so abrasive and rough and gruff, people think you got to run and jump in the pool and make the biggest splash and get the clicks, get the likes, drive the, you know, I don't do that. I can think of 2 times I've gotten angry on this radio station. One was when that guy tried to insinuate I was racist for not letting my daughter go to a public school in Jackson, and the other one was when that lady hung up at me in Benoit, Mississippi, and we're gonna do a little something, something with that. Oh, don't you worry. You know it's good when people my friends from Illinois call me up, "Andy, you alright?" Friends call me up, "Andy, you okay? I could tell you were really upset about that." Well, we'll get to that in good time. I'm a patient man. I'm a real patient man. And I understand why I'm doing it. I'm doing it for the right reasons now, not for the wrong reasons. We won't go full McHenry County, but we're gonna have a little something, something special for that. Which leads me to the point last point here before we get to the local media. Dependence back to bondage. We are gonna take our liberty, our freedom, and we're gonna trade it back for bondage and slavery. Those who would trade liberty and freedom for security deserve neither. And that's what we're doing. We're trading our independence, our liberty, our abundance. We're trading it for complacency, apathy, dependence. We'll go into bondage for it as long as you get that Social Security check every month. Isn't that right? Now, I wish I could take, I know this. I've studied this, but this was reminded to me by General Mike Flynn, and he's got a whole post on it, and I'm going to repost it on X so that you can see that too, because I want people to think on this radio station. I want you to learn on this radio station. It's just not sit here where you just turn it on and you have reassuring thoughts in your brain and you can kind of mellow out your conservative dope hit. No, I want you to take action. I want you to do stuff. Because as upset as I am over Benoit, Mississippi, and this appointment of this Muslim judge, this Islamic judge, never once did anybody call for violence, hatred, bigotry on this radio station. I see all the insinuation out there. We sit there and have the real conversations, unlike some of these other conservative media outposts in and around the United States. No, we actually broke down Quran verses. We broke it down, and we're going to break it down more. But before we start breaking it down, we got to go there to get to here, and we got to talk about these media places coming out, whether they are conservative or liberal. And we'll do that right after we take this first commercial break. You are listening to the Andrew Gosser Show on 103.9 WYAB. We'll be right back.
Keep it tuned here to 103.9 WYAB.
You can show your pride and patriotism in honor of the 250th birthday of this great nation by proudly flying a flag. And a complete flag source on I-55 in Jackson is the place to find it. All sizes for all purposes. And they have the official 250-year celebration flag. Have a look at CompleteFlags.com. That's CompleteFlags.com.
Antique Mall of the South has 14,000 square feet of pristine, clean floor space. Home to beautiful, timeless antique treasures. Antique Mall of the South is open Monday to Saturday, 10 to 5.
Hang in there, folks. We're just on a commercial break. It's going to be good.
Or go to the Antique Mall of the South Facebook page. You can also read the dozens of 5-star reviews online. Come see for yourself at Antique Mall of the South in Ridgeland. Now
that's exactly what we're going to do, JC.
Antique Mall of the South, Highway
and
51 in Ridgeland.
I don't want to disclose my hand too quick, but I'm going to do a local 150 special. We'll talk about it. It'll all be peaceful. It'll all be legal. Won't be any hate involved.
With a full 1-year warranty, polycarbonate lenses with a scratch-resistant coating and UV protection are all included in this offer. We want to custom fit your kids in a pair of glasses and keep it friendly to your budget. Eye Gear Optical, 2630 Highway 80 East in Pearl, and on the web at eyegearoptical.com.
Hello, I'm Gary Jolly from the Tractor Store. LS Tractor understands your passion for the land, and just like you, LS Tractor is committed to excellence and superior products. LS Tractor comes with a long list of standard features that are unmatched by other brands and backed with the LS commitment to provide exceptional customer service and satisfaction. You get a lot more for your money with the LS Tractor. Come to the Tractor Store in Richland to experience the LS difference. The Tractor Store in Richland.
Who said you can have too much of a good thing? Not at Mazzo Jackson. With rates as low as 0% with approved credit. Come test drive the all-new, fully redesigned 2026 Mazda CX-5. That's more room for you and your cargo, making the third-generation CX-5 the best yet. Mazda's best-selling SUV also comes with 1-year maintenance included on your new vehicle purchase. Mazda Jackson still specializes in certified pre-owned vehicles with hassle-free trade-in options available. Shop online at MazdaJackson.com or visit Mazda Jackson, I-55 Frontage Road.
When pain or injury slows you down, relief is closer than you think. At Hometown Medical, we now carry professional-grade orthopedic gel wraps. Our wraps give you 360 degrees hot or cold compression therapy. We also carry Actimove braces made with CoolMax Air technology. From light slide-on supports to hinge wraparound knee braces, we've got brace options for ankles, knees, backs, shoulders, and wrists. Hometown Medical has you covered with our gel wraps and braces. Discover the relief you deserve.
Great
Looking
text,
to make
guys.
technology work for your business instead of the other way around? Visit brentech.ms today. From reliable network infrastructure and wireless internet to cloud or on-premise backups, Brentech has solutions that keep your business connected, secure, and running smoothly. Don't let tech headaches slow you down. Discover how Brentech can simplify and elevate your business at brentech.ms. That's brentech.ms. Brentech, technology made easy.
Oh, yeah. Welcome back to the Andrew Gosser Show right here on 103.9 WYAB, where we are moving and grooving. So we got mainstream media on both the left and the right whining and complaining about how this judge is being treated, how this woman is being treated. Can we say she's a woman? You know, that in 2026, we got to know, what is a woman? But I think the first place we need to start off with is WLBT reporting the story. Let's see. Hopefully the commercial doesn't pop up.
A newly appointed Mississippi judge is speaking out tonight after a wave of online threats and harassment.
All of this directed at her because of her faith. Asma Ali is an immigration attorney in Ridgeland. She was born in the U.S. and graduated from Mississippi Christian School of Law. Last week, the town of Benoit appointed her to serve as a municipal judge. In our coverage, we told you that yesterday. Well, conservative influencers and activists claimed she would try to implement Sharia law. Their only evidence here, Ali is Muslim. Ali says she will follow the Constitution and state law, period. But after a wave of online threats and harassment, Ali has now stepped back from public life. She tells us, in part, I choose to respond with love, not hate. I hope people will judge me by my character, my qualifications, and the way I serve others. Seeing more than 500 attorneys stand behind me and say that my faith should never determine whether I am fit to serve has touched me deeply. That support means more to me than I can put into words. State Senator Michael McClendon is now calling on Benoit to remove Ali from the bench, citing her Muslim faith as his reason.
Yes, Senator McClendon is right. You see how the liberalism tugs at your heartstrings, ladies and gentlemen? They don't talk about what the religion of Islam actually does. But we here at the Andrew Gosser Show will sure do it. Because you sure as hell know that WLBT won't do it. And there's some conservatives out there who do it too. And you can go to WLBT and do that and go listen to this. But I can't call him necessarily a friend. I can call him an acquaintance. And like I said yesterday, we love Magnolia Tribune. I agree with Russ 95% of the time. He say probably agree with me about 60, maybe 70. But there are times where we don't get it right. And it's because we are set into our views, we're set into our norms, we are set into our way of thinking, and we never go outside and do the research on the outside to understand why is it that so many people, especially military veterans, are so angry and ticked off about this. Could it be that we've actually seen Sharia law in practice? Can it be that as those who practice the proficiency of arms understands what the hell we're dealing with here? And this has absolutely nothing to do with your liberal heart and what you think. This absolutely has everything to do with what this religion actually is. And I know I read some of this yesterday, but I want to read it again because I want to be fair to Russ. And I know you'd be fair to me. In 2015, the Mississippi legislature legislature passed HB 177, which prevents any law other than the United States or Mississippi constitutions or U.S. or Mississippi statutes from being enforced in Mississippi courts. The bill was especially addressed as the anti-Sharia law during debate. I think this was not only permissible, but wise. You know what? A lot of states have this law. Texas has this law. How's that working out for Texas? There are Sharia courts popping up, and all a Sharia court has to do is say that both parties agree. Well, let me tell you this. If the man agrees, that's one vote. If the woman disagrees, that's half a vote. She's going to need another vote. Another woman to stand up for her or another man. And if another woman stands up, the woman could vote the man 2-1. And he just needs one more than the woman does. And that woman's going to be subjugated to Sharia law. What Mississippi lawmakers, the majority of whom are Republican, cannot do under the Constitution they all swore to defend and protect is draw the bright line that will prevent any Muslim from serving as in public office. No, not any Muslim, any person who's practicing Islam. Because there's a difference between being Muslim and being Islam. And people don't realize this. And you will even see Al Sayed in Michigan. He blurs the lines all the time. They blur it all the time. Caller, I see you, but I got to get through this. I'm not going to do this the wrong way. And there are many Muslims who are sitting there who don't practice Islam serving in public office. But when we look at the ones who are, Ilhan Omar comes to mind. We're having all sorts of problems going. I understand the same people who do not like this result. And that's where we got to do this. I also understand the concerns in Europe and even places like Dearborn. I happen to believe shared cultural values, adherence to Western concepts like the rule of law matter in immigration policy. I'm in favor of heightened restrictions on immigration in places that do not share those commitments. I'm not in favor of dishonest hysteria. Well, I was honest agreements with you, Russ, until that last line. This isn't dishonest hysteria. It's all fun and games until you have friends who get blown up in a convoy. People who want to go ahead and have the United States defeated. And we're going to sit there and we're going to go over some of these concepts in Islam. Things like Taqiyya, with Quranic references, of course, because we don't do things halfway here at the Andrew Gosser Show. We're going to go ahead and we're going to talk about these things because you know what? It's all about studying. And the truth of the matter is, and I got a call actually from somebody who is a brother in Christ who really got upset with me for kind of calling out the Christians out there who say, when I said that the Muslims and the Islamists study the Bible more than the Christians in America do, I can't help it if it's true. Taqiyya, the practice of concealing or outwardly denying one's true religious beliefs under threat of persecution, harm, death, while maintaining firm in the faith in the heart. It is permitted as a concession in cases of necessary, more extreme developed in Sharia jurisprudence, but also recognized in classical Sunni scholars as a limited into genuine duress. Now, yes, I read the definition of that. I can sit there and explain it, but I want to make sure that you get the actual definition of what Taqiyya is. It's in their religion that says it's okay for them to lie about what their true intentions are. It's okay for them to put their hand on the Quran and say they're going to uphold the Constitution of the United States. Allah permits it. Don't believe me? Quran 3:28. Let not believers take disbelievers as allies rather than believers. And whoever does that has nothing with Allah except when taking precaution against them in prudence. And Allah warns you of this himself. and Allah is the final destination. That's Quran 3:28. Quran 16:106. Whoever disbelieves in Allah after his belief, except for one who is being forced, while his heart is secure in the faith, but those who willingly open their breast to disbelief upon them is in wrath from Allah, and far from it a great punishment. Ladies and gentlemen, this is coming from the book. And I know we had a theologian or some hermeneutic scholar call up yesterday and said the Constitution wasn't derived from the Bible, but that couldn't be further from the truth. The two biggest books that were referenced when writing the Constitution, if you actually go back and read the Federalist Papers, if you actually go back and read the notes of how they determined how the Constitution was written, the two biggest books were Leviticus and Deuteronomy. That's not even debatable. Blackstone, another big, where we derived natural law from. Blackstone, where we derive natural law from, guess where that draws a lot of its natural law from? The Bible. I find it interesting now how Blackstone was used to form the Christian government as a doctrinal source. And now we have Black Rock and Blackwater. I see what you do there, Satan. You are listening to the Andrew Gosser Show. When we get back, we're going to talk about more. I'll take phone calls too if you want to call back. I'll take phone calls, but we're going to get into some more of these Islamic definitions for your edification. And if anybody out there made any threatening calls to this woman, if anybody went out there and was trying to badger her or cause any hate and discontent, I rebuke you completely. This show and this radio station has worked way too hard to have real discourse and real disagreements civilly than to sit here and go support some nonsense like that. And of course, the media, won't report it unless it's just so evident to their narrative that they're trying to push down your neck, just like Operation Mockingbird does, even at the local level. It is how it is. And I'm not backing down from that. I am Andrew Gosser. This is 103.9 WYAB, and we will be right back.
.1039 WYAB.
Fox News commentary with Jimmy Fallon next.
You're probably listening to this in your car, so let me ask you, would you drive without insurance? Of course not. So why is your retirement portfolio unprotected? Gold is portfolio insurance. It helps de-risk your savings when markets get unpredictable. Noble Gold Investments has helped thousands of Americans do exactly that with no high-pressure sales and thousands of 5-star reviews. Visit noblegoldinvestments.com. That's noblegoldinvestments.com. Past performance may not be indicative of future results. Investing in precious metals involves risk. Consult with your tax or financial professional before making any investment decisions.
Here's Jimmy Fallon.
There's a lot of really spoiled white rich kids who have super successful parents. They call them Nepo babies because their parents have an ungodly amount of money. These kids contribute nothing to the world. And the modern liberal mindset prioritizes victimhood above all else. There is a hierarchy of oppression. And the more you can claim to be aggrieved by this, the greatest and most tolerant and inclusive society the world has ever known, the higher in the regard they hold you. The problem a lot of these rich white kids are having is nobody feels bad for them. So the only way they can score victimhood points is by saying capitalism's bad. We have this oppressive system. It's unfair to us. Ergo, every single one of us is a victim. And that's what we have the Democrat Party catering to, a generation of privileged idiots.
For more commentary like this, go to foxnewspodcast.com.
If you had an accident and had your vehicle repaired at the insurance company preferred shop, you might consider calling Clinton Body Shop to schedule a post-repair inspection. 5 of the last 6 cars we inspected were bought back by the insurer or repair shop due to unsafe repairs. Your family's safety and your investment are at risk. You may have a diminished value claim due to repairs. Did your insurance company mention that? In Clinton and in Richland, we work for you. We take pride in perfection.
Antique Mall of the South has 14,000 square feet of pristine, clean floor space. Home to beautiful, timeless antique treasures. Antique Mall of the South is open Monday to Saturday, 10 to 5. Check them out online at antiquemallofthesouth.com or go to the Antique Mall of the South Facebook page. You can also read the dozens of 5-star reviews online. Come see for yourself at Antique Mall of the South in Ridgeland. Now open Monday to Saturday, 10 to 5. That's Antique Mall of the South, Highway 51 in Ridgeland.
Tired of the brutal Mississippi sun beating down on your ride or home? Lakeland Glass and Tint in Flowood has you covered. They specialize in professional window tint for cars, homes, and businesses using premium Expel film plus top-tier paint protection film, ceramic coatings, and full vehicle wraps. Change your truck's color or turn it into a rolling billboard without an expensive paint job. Get a free quote today at LakelandGlassandTint.com. That's LakelandGlassandTint.com. Lakeland Glass and Tint, Central Mississippi's tint and wrap pros.
Come on down to Ascension. Come on in, Sunday worship 10 a.m. Amen. Jackson, Mississippi will sing with you. Pastor Christine sharing good news. Come on down to Ascension. Join the choir. Feel God's love lifting you higher. Ascension Lutheran Church, we're saving you a few.
What are people saying about Tom's Fried Pies in Richland?
I'm on a diet. I don't want to be down there at Tom's Fried Pies. We had a good time. When I tell you the crust was flaky, I'm talking about buttery. This was nothing like I've ever tasted. Ever. I mean, I've never tasted anything like that, man. It was nice. Atmosphere was nice. Everybody there was nice. Because I'll be back, even though I don't supposed to with my diet. I thoroughly enjoyed myself.
Tom'sFriedPies.com. Tom'sFriedPies.com.
And we are back here on the Andrew Gosser Show, right here on 103.9 WYAB. Phone number if you want to call in. I'll take phone calls now, 601-879-0002. Text line is open, 601-879-5060. Brother, I saw the text that you sent me. I know you disagree with me, but dude, that is like a short Ernest Hemingway novel, and I'm just not going to get to it during the show. But I do appreciate you calling in and expressing your disagreement with me, but that's just too much. But you want to know what? Everybody's saying that this woman is pure heart and doesn't agree with it. Russ Latino even said that he wants stronger immigration. Does this sound like a strong immigration person to you?
Hello, my name is Asma Ali, and I'm an immigration attorney in the United States. I am seeking your support in tomorrow's rally. A rally will take place tomorrow in Bronx, New York, to raise awareness and to show our support for all the diversity visa winners that had won the
Zorhan Mandami in the
but
picture.
were denied visa issuance or denied entry to the United States due to former President Trump's travel ban. Once again, we are seeking your support tomorrow, March 24th at 12:30 outside of White Plains Road in Little Yemen, the Bronx, to show our support and to raise awareness on behalf of all the diversity visa winners that were victims of President Trump's travel ban.
Yeah, that was 2021. You know, you go back in history and you see how someone is talking 4 or 5 years ago. That's probably how they're talking, and they're talking like that again. They've got a track history. All right, let's take this. Go ahead. You're on the air. You know what? That's a good answer. But honestly, I think diversity is just a way to get rid of what we consider normal. Well, we're going to find out really quick because people don't understand what is being played against them. There's some of us who are awake, not woke, who understand what the heck's being played. And there are people who don't understand what is exactly happening, but they know it's not good. And that's why we're going through some of these things, man. Yep. Yep. Go. Yeah, it's a cartoon. It's a Disney cartoon. It was actually pretty good movie, but you've got to get Disney Plus to watch it because you can't get it on DVD anymore, which is a shame. And but it's the same concept here. But the biggest fear right now in the unigovernment slash deep state slash whatever you want to call it is Christians uniting, saying we've had enough of this, and it doesn't matter whether you're black, white, yellow, green, blue, purple, because we're in a bad state. We're in the bondage state right now. We are so close to bondage. It's not even funny, Brother Rick. Well, you know what? My mother used to say Big Brother. We used to laugh at it, but it's here now. And you saw flock cameras being used exclusively yesterday. My favorite, and I know we're kind of getting divergent here, and we should maybe save this for tomorrow, but I'll leave it with this. They were using flock cameras to record the video of all the weather going through the country yesterday on RyanHolyall.com. I love watching his weather report because weather.com is absolutely evil and fear mongering, but he was just flipping around through the different flock cameras. Anybody can go to it. And the technology that they're putting into this is bad. I'll give you the last word, brother. Then I got to get to this next breakdown of this next word that I want to get to. At kids' playgrounds. Yep, that's going to be awesome. That's Brother Rick, ladies and gentlemen.
Hello, my name is
He-
Tess
he-
Molly,
he-
and I'm
he-
an immigration attorney in the
it
United States.
kicked off playing the video again. We've already listened to her once. That's enough for today. But those flock cameras, they're going to be used in all of this, and don't think it's not going to happen, because it is. So here's another term that you haven't heard of, but I'm sure Miss Ali has, and every practicing Islamist who genuinely wants to do harm to the United States knows this term. It's called kitman, Kitman, or kitman. Excuse me. Got to try to get it right when I can. Kitman is the act of concealing, withholding, or suppressing the truth, especially religious knowledge, guidance, and testimony. In Islamic sources, it is generally condemned when it involves hiding divine revelations or clear prophets from people. Though limited form of secrecy or mental reservation can overlap with concepts like taqiyya, which we talked about in the last segment, in context necessary or persecution, particularly noted in Shia and not Wahhabi, but Adali sects. It differs from outright fabrication by focusing on omission rather than active falsehood. And key Quran verse 2:159. Indeed, those who conceal what we sent down from clear proofs and guidance after we made it clear from the people in the scripture, those who are cursed by Allah and cursed by those who curse, except for those who I repent and correct themselves and make evident, those I will accept their repentance. I am accepting of repentance, the merciful. And that's coming from the Quran. And I've got two more verses here, Quran 2:174 and 3:187. The sad part is there's some of you out there who are Bible believing Christians. You're going to hear more verses from the Quran today than you are going to hear from the Bible. Someone needs to hear that. This is Quran 2:174. Indeed, they who conceal what Allah has sent down of the book in exchange for it is a small price. Those who can consume not into their bellies except the fire, and Allah will speak to them on the day of resurrection, nor will he purify them, and they will have a painful punishment. So, kitman is something that they practice all the time by omission, not necessarily flat out lying, but by omission. How many of you all sat down today and said, "Oh, you know what? This is a nice lady. She's gone to a Christian university. You know what? There are people who go to church all the time who aren't Christian, but they'll have the attendance records there. They'll have the tithing receipts. I'm not falling for this. I've seen too much of this in real life. I have to go no further than Dearborn or Plano. I don't even have to get on a plane and go to Afghanistan or Iraq anymore. And this woman, she's born in America. She's a product of the education system in America. Her parents are Yemenis, I believe is how the correct way to say it. If it's not Yemenis, please correct me, but I think it's Yemenis. And what's Yemen's biggest problem right now? The Houthis. The Houthis are hated so much, they're hated by their own government and the Saudis and the Omanis. Do you get the point here? How these Shia and Sunni, these Shias, got to make sure I get the right sect, are just like the ducks getting into the pool and just pooping the whole place up. When you have foreign governments can't even stand this practice, it's a problem. And tomorrow, I know I'm going heavy on the Islamic portion of it today, but tomorrow we're going to have a good lesson. Brother Rick will be here. I'll have some Christian verses and some history that they won't teach you in your school because of the separation of church and state. And this is where I disagree with Brother Russ, is that there are some bad decisions out there that the Supreme Court made back in the 50s and 60s, specifically the Warren and Burger courts, that really allowed a lot of this disease to get infected into the American body politic. And we've got to go after it. And if that means us passing a law that gets appealed and goes all the way up to the Supreme Court, then so be it. But we've got the receipts, but do we want to use those receipts? Do we want to fight that battle? Or do we just want to be complacent? Do we want to be complicit? Do we just want to take that credit card bill and throw it in the garbage and pretend it's paid and that it's not there? Not me. Not me, ladies and gentlemen. I'm sitting here and I want to fight the good fight, not through bombs and guns and fisticuffs, but through ideas and education. And when we get back, we're going to talk about Tarwa. Man, some of these Muslim words are hard for me to pronounce. English is getting difficult sometimes. Anyways, you're listening to the Andrew Gosser Show on 103.9 WYAB. We'll be right back.
Keep it tuned here to 103.9 WYAB.
Did you get us switched over to shelter insurance?
Actually, I found a deal online.
You did? Does your deal come with award-winning customer service?
Oh, I'm not sure.
Does the deal include a local agent?
Doesn't actually say.
Can we create a customized plan that fits our needs? Let's just call the local shelter agent.
For insurance that fits just right, find a shelter agent near you.
Located in Ridgeland and Flora, come see me, Jamie Creel, Shelter Insurance.
Hey, this is John with MES. That's Mississippi Energy Services. We sell, service, and install all makes and models of home and business generators. One thing that we do different than a lot of other companies is we do all the work ourselves. We don't use subcontractors. We go from the original estimate, the design, to the final product. That way we can control the quality of the job from the beginning to the end. We are online at msenergy.us.
Hey, Flora, the farm store in Flora, fresh from the farm right here. The farm store in Flora, organic, local, clear. Locally sourced meats and vegetables too. Fresh produce every day, picked just for you. The farm store in Flora, fresh from the farm right here. The farm store in Flora, come see what's fresh today.
Want insider tips on foundation repair, maintenance, and how to protect your biggest investment? Todd Sandridge, owner of Superior Foundation Services, will be dropping in this month for quick interviews with your favorite local hosts. Whether you're dealing with cracks, settling, or just want peace of mind, this is a conversation you don't want to miss. Superior Foundation Services, helping you stay on solid ground. Find them online at superior.ms. That's superior.ms.
Are you worried about an aging loved one? What options are there for assisted living? What will my insurance cover? Join John Merrill with Amada Senior Care for Senior Health Today, each Tuesday from 9 to 10 a.m., right here on 1039 WYAB. From assisted living options to nursing home care to elder planning, Senior Health Today and Amada Senior Care has you covered. Each Tuesday from 9 to 10 a.m., right here on 1039 WYAB.
Americans for Prosperity is Mississippi's and the country's leading grassroots organization dedicated to promoting economic freedom and personal liberty. Americans for Prosperity advocates for limited government, free market policies, and empowering individuals. When given freedom and opportunity, Americans are capable of extraordinary things. If you are ready to make a difference in our community and want to get involved, then visit americansforprosperity.org. Be a part of positive change at americansforprosperity.org. Paid for by Americans for Prosperity.
Yazoo Valley Electric Power Association wants you to stay away from downed power lines. Downed power lines carry the risk of deadly electric shock, even if the broken wire is not sparking. If a wire is crossing a road or driveway, avoid the area and keep others away. If you see a downed power line, back away and call your utility company or 911. When you call, be prepared to provide the specific address or location of the downed power line so a repair crew can get there as quickly as possible. This safety message brought to you by Yazoo Valley Electric Power Association.
Hi, Kim Wade here. Are you craving a home-cooked meal without the hassle? Come over to McBee's Bar and Grill in Ridgeland for their Blue Plate lunch specials. Served up every weekday, at McBee's it's a different entree every day. Chicken spaghetti on Mondays, beef tip Tuesday, pork chop Wednesday, spaghetti Thursday, and catfish Fridays. And McBee's Blue Plate lunch comes with 2 classic southern sides and cornbread or a roll. McBee's specials are served every weekday from 11 to 2. McBee's, buzzing the res since 1982.
Oh, yeah. Welcome back to the Andrew Gosser Show right here on 1039 WYAB. Phone's blinking during the commercial break. Not going to pick it up, but if you call it in the next 30 seconds, I'll get you hooked up. We'll hook you right in there. Look, we've got all these other definitions I want to get to. I got at least 3 more that I want to get to. And in the next hour, we're also going to talk about the WNBA and what's going on there. There's all sorts of panic breaking out. I wanted to talk about this yesterday. I had a lot of this show prep done yesterday, but couldn't get to it because of the breaking news with the judge. Hey, go ahead. You're on the air. Turn on your radio, please. Thank you, sir. Yep. Yep. You know what? I'll put that on. Thank you, brother. I appreciate that, and I will get that on the air. I always try to have a scripture, and I'll try to use that tomorrow, if that's okay. It's just one of those things where people need to understand where our values and rights to come from. It's not from some document written right by man, but it's by our Creator. And who was the Creator? It was, everybody says, it's separation of church and state. Do you know God, the Creator, and God is referenced 4 times in the Declaration of Independence? Atheists don't want you to talk about it. Secularists don't want you to talk about it. People don't want you to go through and redo the deep research on every founding father. Oh, they'll want you to know whether or not they were a plantation owner or a slave owner. But they won't talk about all the faith that they do or all the things they did to have the country formed. We are so disingenuous with ourselves. We're being so fake. And callers like that one right there get me excited because, man, I hope he's a precinct delegate and we get to hook up at the Mississippi State Convention in 2028. It sure would be nice to have that type of biblical worldview inside the Republican Party of Mississippi. I can't control what happens in Illinois or Michigan or Minnesota or California or Washington. But everybody listen to the sound of my voice. You have a key part to play in the future of Mississippi, and they don't want you to know it. They want you to be just sitting there thinking of your own ways of doing things. Want you dependent on the government. Sorry about that. The volume came through on the EQ pretty good for that caller. Basically, he was saying, got to read Hosea 5, 6, and 7, and I'll get that hooked up for tomorrow. And the truth is, I'd love to do it now, but me and typing anymore is a little bit of a challenge. And it's just what it is. But that's God's grace too. I'll tell you what. I've got enough energy to get through the radio show. You know, we got our own Sunday morning radio show, Equipping the Saints with Sweet B and Andrew. This week we're going to be in the Book of Mark. It's going to be lit. And my main thing is as I'm in this season of my life is I want to be able to pass on what God's given to me, the knowledge, the wisdom, to all of you. Learn from my mistakes. That's why you won't see me go full immolation of the Republican Party. Already tried that. It didn't work out too good. You can sit there and say, oh, you want to blow up the Republican Party, politically speaking. We're not jihadis. But that's not going to do anything. You that'll cause more damage than good, actually. You'd be doing the DSA a favor. I know some of you will think that's a hot take, but it is what it is. In the next hour, we're going to get through these three terms. We're going to talk about the NBA players who are switching over to the WNBA and causing full-blown panic in the WNBA. It's going to be beautiful, ladies and gentlemen. Don't go anywhere. We're at the bottom of the hour, or top of the hour break. We'll be back in about 7.5 minutes.
This is Central Mississippi's Stimulating Talk.
1039 WYAB, Pocahontas, Jackson.
Don't know why you couldn't hear it, brother. I had the EQ up pretty good. That's getting
From
almost
ABC
90%.
News, I'm Michelle Franzen. A day after Luigi Mangione appeared at his final pretrial state hearing before the murder trial of United Healthcare CEO begins, defense attorneys and prosecutors are expected to discuss a possible plea deal in his federal case.
Friday's conference comes 2 months after sources said Mangione's lawyers and federal prosecutors had discussions about a plea deal, though no agreement was reached back in June. If Mangione does end up pleading guilty to federal charges, state prosecutors have said they're prepared to lobby the federal judge presiding over the case for a stiff sentence. However, defense lawyers could argue that the state case should be thrown out over concerns about double jeopardy. Mangione has pleaded not guilty in both federal and state cases. He's scheduled to go to trial in his state case on September 8th. Peter Haralambous, ABC News, New York.
Ongoing hostilities with Iran and the U.S. keeping the pressure on Americans when it comes to prices for goods. Inflation cooled slightly by 0.1 of a percentage point from June to July. ABC's Elizabeth Schulze says it was not enough to reverse high prices in many sectors, including groceries, transportations, and services.
This is pretty much in line with expectations. That 3.4% inflation rate is about where analysts thought it would be when you look at kind of across the board prices in the economy. It is not, it's a good thing that we don't see that number going up, that inflation isn't accelerating, but it is still above where the Federal Reserve and overall households want inflation to be.
In Colombia, rescue efforts continuing 3 days after a massive earthquake rattled the Choco region, killing at least 240 people. The city of Cali, one of the hardest hit, where dozens of buildings collapsed. Officials say more than 200 people are trapped, thousands of others still listed as missing. Major hoops news. Multiple sources tell ESPN the Los Angeles Lakers are being sold to American businessmen Josh Kushner and Bob Iger for over $12.5 billion, a record-breaking price. You're listening to ABC News.
I'm not one to say I told you so, but I switched to Pure Talk over a year ago, and ever since, I've been telling people there's no better wireless company out there. Well, a few months ago, a massive survey was conducted. 123,000 people were asked to rate their wireless carrier in 4 categories: coverage, support, data, and overall value. Well, the results are in. Guess which wireless company was the only wireless company to get 5 stars in every category? Yeah, Pure Talk. 5 stars, every category. To celebrate, Pure Talk is offering the first 3 months of any plan for for just $15 a month, including their top-tier unlimited plan. No contract, no commitment, just a very inexpensive way to test drive the only American wireless company with 5 stars in every category. Just dial pound 250, say micro, and Pure Talk's U.S. customer service will take it from there. Again, pound 250 micro. And yes,
News this hour brought to you by Frederick Sales and Service in Brandon and Skag Zero Turn Mowers and Products. Simply the best.
You may remember the former interim sheriff going away. 98 is the expected high for this afternoon and a heat index at 107. So a heat advisory is in effect for this area. Tonight, the low is 77 and it's mostly clear. You can expect 99 with a heat index about 10 degrees above that for tomorrow. You've got news on 103.9 WYAB. I'm Chris Davis. If you've been following the story of former Hinds County interim sheriff Marshawn Chrysler, who was sentenced to federal prison back in 2024, he has gotten out of prison. Chrysler got a 30-month sentence on charges that he had accepted bribes almost as soon as he became sheriff. He was also accused of providing ammo to somebody he knew was a convicted felon. He still says that he's innocent. $250,000 bucks is the bail set for Christian Lane II of Vicksburg, who was arrested Monday after sheriff's deputies in Rankin County say he held police off at a house near Highway 468. Lane is suspected of burglary and has a history of criminal acts that have resulted in a total of 15 felony arrests for him and 12 misdemeanors. A move by the Jackson City Council may help bring some more money in, which could help finish up some of the renovations at Thalliamara Hall. That includes a vote Tuesday to name the building a Mississippi landmark and also to try to get it on the National Register of Historic Places. Sentencing for Jeffrey Walker, who was a former Capitol Police officer, was set for Monday, but that was put off now until August 31st at 1:30 in the federal courthouse in downtown Jackson. Walker is facing a possible 10 years in prison for slamming a prisoner's head into the hood of a car and repeatedly assaulting that prisoner while that person was in. More news in 1 hour on 103.9 WYAB. I'm Chris Davis.
Where do you stand in the pro-life community? If you're passionate about protecting the sanctity of life from fertilization to natural death, please join us at Pro-Life Mississippi as we make a difference and save lives right here in our own state. Pro-Life Mississippi is a community of individuals dedicated to equipping others to value all human life, including the preborn, those with disabilities, and the elderly. Our mission is simple: to provide unwavering support, education, and advocacy for the preborn, their families, and other vulnerable children and adults. If you're just starting your pro-life journey or you have been an advocate of life for many years, Pro-Life Mississippi needs your voice and talents to save lives in Mississippi. Together, we can make a difference in building a stronger pro-life Mississippi. Learn more about us at prolifems.org. That's prolifems.org. Be part of the community that celebrates each and every human life.
Your roof is constantly exposed to the elements, battling dirt, algae, and stains. But with Watkins Construction and Roofing Roof Wash Service, you can keep it looking like new. A proprietary rooficide treatment is EPA approved, safe, and guaranteed to prevent algae from coming back for at least 2 years. No harsh chemicals, no damage, no black streaks. Just a clean, beautiful roof that lasts. Call Watkins Construction and Roofing at 601-966-8233 or visit nomoreroofstains.com today.
The views and opinions expressed in this program are the individual views and opinions of the people expressing them and do not necessarily reflect those of this radio station, its parent.
And we are back for hour number 2 of the Andrew Gosser Show on 103.9 WYAB, where we are streaming on Rumble. We are streaming on X. We are streaming on YouTube. Everyone still hates Facebook, and we're streaming at WYAB.com. So if you can't pick up the 50,000 watt blowtorch of a signal that it is 103.9 WYAB, help us grow the station. Help us build the channels. Like, share, and subscribe. Do it right now. Follow me on X. It's just at Andrew Gosser, ANDREWGASSER on X. I go ahead and try to repost all the stuff that I use during my show during the day right there. So you can trust what I'm saying, but you can verify it too. Tell a friend, tell a neighbor, tell a Democrat. Let's go, let's go, let's go. The number, if you want to be part of the show today, is 601-879-0002. Text line is open at 601-879-5060. And the mission here at the Andrew Gosser Show is standard. We are here to equip the saints. Who are the saints? Y'all are the saints. I planted it. Apollos watered it. But it was God who gave the increase. So I have a choice here. I can either continue on defining these Islamic terms, or I can go to the WNBA. And I really want to, because Brother Rick will be in the show tomorrow. And Lord only knows how that's going to go. We always got stuff lined up, but I really want to get through these Islamic terms so that you can go ahead and start doing your own research on it. And you don't have to be a Christian. You don't have to be an Islamist following the Quran to know these words. You can be a secular person. You can be an agnostic person. You can be an atheist. But you should know what the book actually says and the terms actually say, so that you can understand what is actually trying to happen here. And people are already coming in and great text messages coming in, talking about different ideas of what might happen in Beloit, Mississippi. Could Beloit, Mississippi be the next Plano, Texas? Could it be the next Dearborn, Seattle, Minneapolis, St. Paul? It could. Little Yemen, right here in Beloit, Mississippi. But I want to go to get these other definitions knocked out, because I do feel it's important that you understand this. And again, this isn't coming from, hey, this isn't me. This is me pulling it up right from Quran.org. And I've used different texts of the Quran. Now, they say that there's only one text, but there's multiple texts of the Quran out there. That is often something that's used. And someone also asked, where did I learn a lot of my debating techniques? Look, I am not the apologetist I wish I was, but there's a guy out there. There's two of them actually, and they both don't really get along with each other. Well, there's three, there's four, but the two that I really go to are God Logic and Sam Shimon. And then there's Andrew Wilson, who he claims to be a Christian, but he's got a mouth worse than a Navy aircraft carrier skipper. That's saying something. He'd make a chief petty officer blush. Now I'm going to be in trouble with all my senior enlisted Navy folks out there, but I'm just being truthful with you. I have a hard time with apologists who drop F-bombs and other curse words, but yet claim to practice it. And it doesn't. I'm not saying I'm not throwing stones in glass house. I know I do too, but it is so rare. In when it becomes commonplace in your language, then it's a problem. So this word, and I hope I'm saying it right, but you can go ahead and do it. It's Taqiyya, Tawriwa, also spelled Taqiyya, Tawria, is the Islamic rhetorical and legal concept of double entendre or equivocation, deliberately using words or phrases that have an apparent near-surface meaning understood by the listener, while the speaker intends a different, equally valid, far-hidden meaning. Yep, that's exactly what Zorhan Mandami did. That's exactly what Ilhan Omar did. That's exactly what Al Said's doing in Michigan, and it's what this lady's going to do too. It comes straight from the Quran. It's a form of ambiguity or indirect speech that avoids direct falsehood and is often discussed alongside, but distinct from Taqiyya, which we talked about, and Kitman. Scholars generally permit it when there is legitimate need and does not cause injustice. So it's okay to lie. And I've got a couple different examples here. Let's see here. I want to make sure I get this right. Quran 5:31, to hide or to cover. Then Allah sent a crow searching for the ground to show him how to hide the disgrace of his brother. He said, "Oh, woe to me! Have I failed to be like the crow and hide his body from my brother?" And he became so regretful. And so that verse basically says it's okay to hide your brother, even though he's been disgraceful. And then it tries to quote Moses, but I'm not going to use that one because, quite frankly, I believe that the Quran misquotes the Bible, and I don't want to use that one, so I'm not going to. So we have another word, and you'll see to where I'm getting in all of this. Taysir means facilitation or making things easy. In Islamic sources, it is a core principle of Sharia. Allah desires ease rather than hardship for his servants, removes under difficulty, haraj, enlightens the burdens according to human capacity. So basically, everybody's heard of halal meat. That's something you can consume. Haram, which means you can't consume. And then there's haraj, which means lighten the load. Quran 54:17, and we will certainly have made Quran easy for remembrance, so that there isn't anybody who will remember. Quran 22:78, and strive for Allah with striving due to Him. He has chosen you and has not placed upon you in the religion of any difficulty. And basically goes on to say that, look, if you've got to lighten your burden while you're spreading the word of Allah and spreading the Quran, it's okay. And this is what's happening, not just in the United States. This is what happened in Spain. This is what happened in England. This is what happened in France. This is what happened in Germany. This is what happened all over Europe. It's what happened in Turkey. It's what happened in Iran. It's what happened in Iraq. And again, I had one lady, I totally forgot to talk about this, but I had one lady text me. She did not realize, and she was younger. Looking at her picture, I guess she was about 35. She texted, and she did not realize that women in Iran, in Afghanistan, in Iraq used to wear dresses and skirts and blouses. They weren't wearing hijabs and burqas. And see how Satan works like that? Takes away the history. And all we've ever known is war and instability in the Middle East. It's cyclical. And this woman, by the way, does not agree with me in many things at all. But you never know when you're going to plant that seed that's out there that all of a sudden starts to sprout wisdom and growth. And I just want you people to go out there and review these words yourself so that you can go talk to your pastor and say, hey, what's happening is not right, and we need to do something more. It's absolutely heartbreaking to me to watch them go after church bells in Dearborn, Michigan, but it's okay to play the call to prayer 5 times a day. And people think it's kind of silly to think that people are going to stop and just start praying. When that call to prayer goes out, you watch how quickly people go to pray. Yeah, I've never seen women pray in public. I have seen men just drop their prayer and start doing that. And I also watched some people in downtown New York try to stop the prayer and call the prayer in New York, and they chased them off the streets saying, hey, and they tried to claim freedom of religion. Can you believe that? That's what, again, and again, this is what I understand the Democrat Socialists of America wanting to support this, but I do not understand Democrats who want to support that. I just don't. And to me, it's ideological, inconsistent position to take, where you're going to whoop up on the belief system that got you to where you're at, and then change it out for a belief system that's going to completely subjugate one sex of humanity. Women don't like knowing that they only get half the rights of a man in a court of law, in a court of Sharia law. All these transgender folks need to start wondering what's going to happen if Sharia law took over in Michigan. Does Michigan have a WNBA team? Would the women have to wear hijabs and everything? I mean, the WWE is in Saudi Arabia now. And if you see the women there, they can't wear the same things that they wear in America. They have to have full body suits. And it has to be loose fitting. It can't be seductive in nature. And if anybody watches WWE now, you know that the women are definitely hypersexualized. It just is what it is. I'm not trying to throw shade at WWE or AEW or TNA, although if you know what TNA wrestling is, it's kind of a playoff of the whole thing there. But my point is that will never happen in an Islamic society. And if you see, they actually take things that were born in the West, music, our movies, our culture, and they'll try to bring it over in small doses into the Middle East, but it'll always be censored, it'll all be watered down. And it's not sitting there to say, hey, look, we're like you. It's there to make you feel complacent and ambiguous to what's actually happening over there. I mean, they're still cutting off hands for stealing. They're still stoning people for adultery and homosexuality, pushing people off buildings. But we're supposed to have not get worried about when we start seeing those things start to happen here. And at first it'd be like, they're not pushing people off buildings. Now they're just walking down the streets and intimidating people who lived in Plano for generations. Plano, Texas today is not what Plano, Texas was just 5 years ago or 10 years ago or 20 years ago. It's very different. And maybe this is what's supposed to happen anyways. That's maybe what Revelation is all about. Eyes to see, ears to hear. I don't know. You are listening to the Andrew Gosser Show on 103.9 WYAB. We'll be right back.
Keep it tuned here to 103.9 WYAB.
You can show your pride and patriotism in honor of the 250th birthday of this great nation by proudly flying a flag. And a complete flag source on I-55 in Jackson is the place to find it. All sizes for all purposes. And they have the official 250-year celebration flag. Have a look at CompleteFlags.com. That's CompleteFlags.com.
Antique Mall of the South has 14,000 square feet of pristine, clean floor space. Home to beautiful, timeless antique treasures. Antique Mall of the South is open Monday to Saturday, 10 to 5. Check them out online at AntiqueMallOfTheSouth.com or go to the Antique Mall of the South Facebook page. You can also read the dozens of 5-star reviews online. Come see for yourself at Antique Mall of the South in Ridgeland. Now open Monday to Saturday, 10 to 5. That's Antique Mall of the South, Highway 51 in Ridgeland.
Are you tired of the overpriced vision insurance shops? Go see Bruce from Eye Gear Optical for quality products and honest pricing. He'll custom fit and personalize your glasses to you, your lifestyle, and your budget. Whether you need glasses for your kids, safety glasses, occupational glasses, or sunglasses, he'll be your Huckleberry. Eye Gear Optical, 2630 Highway 80 East in Pearl and eyegearoptical.com.
You wake up tired. You drag through the day. The drive's gone. The focus is gone. And somewhere along the way, you stopped feeling like yourself. At Live Better Men's Health and Wellness in Gluckstadt, they help men take control again with personalized testosterone therapy, wellness treatments, and real answers. Fast lab work, real medical professionals, no judgment. Stop settling for fine Start living better.
Yep.
Live Better Men's Health. Online at livebettermen.com.
God bless you, Willie. Continue to pray for you and your wife
payroll,
up there in Chicago.
benefits, workers' comp, and HR tasks can take valuable time away from running your business. That's where People Lease comes in. From payroll processing and tax filing to employee benefits and retirement plan administration, People Lease helps simplify your back office operations while improving employee satisfaction. Spend less time on paperwork and more time growing your business. Schedule your consultation today at peoplelease.com. That's peoplelease.com.
Have you been injured through no fault of your own? Do you know your rights? Don Evans does. Do you really believe that the insurance company would disclose all information to you? Don Evans will make sure that you are fully informed. It costs nothing to discuss your case. From car wrecks to malpractice, Don Evans will make you and your family whole again. Don Evans won't ever charge unless he collects for you. Call Don for a free, no-obligation consultation at 601-969-2006.
At Flora Animal Hospital, our team doesn't just take care of your pet's needs. We feel like it starts with the pet parents. If the pet parent is informed thoroughly and understands the situation with the animal and why certain things need to be done or certain medications need to be given, it's easier to get that done. Our website is floraanimalhospital.com. It'll take you straight to the online store where your medicine can be purchased, food can be purchased, prescription or non-prescription, and they will be shipped straight to your front door. floraanimalhospital.com.
Oh, yeah. Welcome back to the Andrew Gosser Show right here on 103.9 WYAB. Apparently now I'm a hater. I'm an Islamophobe because I did my own research. And by the way, Brother Willie called in during the break and just thanked me. And I've had 5 or 6 of you text me during the show on my private line, thanking me for this. And I just want you to know I appreciate it. I'm not sitting here hating just to hate. I am doing the research. I am bringing up the topics that I feel are important and that other people won't necessarily say what needs to be said, you know? And who knows? This might inspire you to go out and do your own research. That's what I hope it does. I hope that you all go out there and do your own research on these words. And I'll have them all posted on X sometime this afternoon. And you can go do your own research on it. But that's what it's going to take. Because what happens is we get in these our circles, our group circles, and we just repeat the same low IQ information amongst each other. And oh yeah, that's the general way of thinking. This is all like the king has no clothes. This is all like the trans women in the NBA, and they're freaking out here. And we did talk about the JBL clothesline from hell that happened against Sophie Cunningham a couple days ago. Listen to her, Sophie Cunningham's coach the other day.
This is more for an online community that's trying to create narratives that simply don't exist.
Always blaming the online community that you can't control. They had it under control in 2019 and 2020 and 2021 when the FBI and the feds cracked down on X, Facebook, and Instagram. And they could control what was said. They could control what you could think. They could control what you could say. But everybody sees through this coach's bull.
Create a fabrication or distortion of who I am, of what I'm about.
You sound like an angry woman to me, but let's find out and see.
Our players' success, our players' health and wellness, our players' safety is always a top priority for me.
I can't tell for sure if you're a woman or not. Am I allowed to say that what a woman is? I'm only a 54-year-old male, self-identified. 50 years of life experience on determining what a man and a woman is. I think I know.
One of the things I pride myself on is my relationships with players.
Pride comes before the fall.
For those who have anything to say about the play in the last game, I didn't see the play in real time. I went straight to a press conference. I thought the play got called right. Thankfully, Sophie's okay.
And this is one point where I'm going to stand up for her. I see it's happen all the time in when I watch the Premier League in my beloved Arsenal. There's a controversial call, and the coach can't come out there and criticize the referee for the call. They always say, "Oh, I didn't see the play real time, or I didn't have the right angle. I have to go see the replay." And so she does have some cover there. She does have some cover there, ladies and gentlemen.
Was it egregious? Absolutely. When you have a chance to watch that over and over and over on replay, you can see that.
Over and over again on replay. She's like almost condemning watching the replay. Man, that Dejanay chick should be banned, like 15, 25 game misconduct banned from the WNBA. And go back and do your research on what Dejanay used to be. You know, her father is a pastor, still married to his mom. It's absolutely crazy. Let's take this phone call real quick here. Let's see what happens. Go ahead. You're on the air. John, I got you. I got you. So, John, let me ask you this: did you like the NBA back in the '70s with between like the Sixers in Boston, Sixers in New York, where they were like breaking legs, breaking arms, having bloody? 15 seconds, brother. Yeah. John, I got you, man, but I got to make sure I get through this video, but I appreciate you calling in and appreciate your point of view. I just going to say I disagree, but we'll keep listening. Yep. John thinks it's good. JBL clothesline from hell, endangering players. And he's right, man. The bad boys, Detroit Pistons back in the day, talking about, man, you watch those old Sixer New York Knicks games, those old games where they were just like brawling. It wasn't even basketball. It was fighting. And the NBA moved away from it because it was endangering their players. And that's what's happening to these ladies here on the court. They're endangering players. But we're talking about the coach right now.
I didn't have that in real time.
Were there any
I take personally any suggestions that I don't 100% always have my players back. I ride with them 10 toes down all the time. All the time.
You're so full of it because you never come out and defended Caitlin Clark. You've never come out and defended Sophie Cunningham. You sat there and it's been documented. Heck, Caitlin Clark, when you came out after Sophie got clotheslined, she put her hands in her face like, oh my God, what the hell is my coach saying? People saying they can't hear the callers. I don't know. I've got all the buttons pushed. Seems like we're right. I'll check it during the break, my friend. I'll check it during the break. But this coach hasn't come out and defended her players nearly like Mikel Arteta did, or Pep Guardiola, or Lane Kiffin, or who's that guy who now coaches at LSU? That guy. He was really good at defending his players, isn't he? Hottie toddy.
They know that. It's a shame that we can't have an opportunity to talk about what great basketball they're playing.
You could be like the real coach, the best coach in the state of Alabama, Coach Tommy Tuberville, and come out consistently and talk about how great your players are instead of bashing the two best people on your team. But hey, or not the two best people, but the two best women, biological women. But nope, you're angry. This is RBF, like This is the second biggest RBF face I've ever seen. There's only been one bigger, but I won't say her name on the radio.
Because they are f***ing playing. The reality is, with me, I will always lead with love. I will always lead with grace. I will always lead with humility. And I will always lead with integrity. Doesn't mean I'll...
That is a BS call if I've ever seen it. If you were led with integrity, your players would be openly surrounding you and praising you, but they don't. You're up there by yourself. Your team has left you on an island. People are demanding that you be fired for the way that you've conducted yourself. You've got two of the best players in the WNBA, and you're not even in playoff position yet. You're in the hunt for it.
I'll always get it right.
And you know what? I'll cover you there. We don't always get it right, but you're not right in this instance, and you're not going to use that to get out of it either.
I'm also human. The hate, the fear-mongering, the divisiveness.
There is no hate. There is no fear-mongering. You're the only one who's being divisive, but we're not standing up for women on your team.
The stuff that's trying to hijack our league will not win. It won't win. We are united. We are connected. We will not be divided. Every day, these women put their on the line. Every day. When they go low, we go high. Love will win. Grace will win. Humility will win. And kindness will win. I stand by them. I will always stand by them. Everybody else can go to hell.
Yeah, that really makes everything you just said in the last 30 seconds go straight out the window. I mean, this is why, I call out conservatives when they say a great speech and then they throw in the last line that completely does whatever, it completely undermines whatever it is that they put out in their speech or in their statement. Telling people we can go to hell because you're an angry lesbian who's not getting the support that you used to get because of the trans stance that you take. Yep. That's exactly what that is. I reposted that one right there so that we can go ahead and get that. And I've got more audio too, because what's happening is great. There are former NBA players now declaring themselves trans women and declaring themselves eligible for the WNBA draft. And the WNBA, well, they're having a little bit of a fit. You are listening to the Andrew Gosser Show on 103.9 WYAB. We'll be right back.
The Calico Fair, hosted by Flora Methodist Church on Saturday, August 22nd from 4:30 until 7:30. Kids will enjoy free water slides, jump houses, games, and more. Browse the country store, bid in the live and silent auctions, enjoy live entertainment, and grab a pulled pork dinner for just $12. Food, fellowship, and fun. We'll see you at Fun in Flora at the Calico Fair.
ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. Results from yesterday's primary races are coming in South Carolina. The vote was too close in the GOP Senate race. ABC's Jay O'Brien says there's now a runoff.
Darlene Graham, the sister of the late Senator Lindsey Graham, failed to win more than 50% of the vote in the Republican primary to replace her brother on the November ballot, despite the complete and total support of the president.
I've been accused of not being a politician. Guilty as charged.
ABC News now projecting Graham will advance to a runoff against Republican Congressman Ralph Norman.
In Wisconsin, moderate Democrat David Crowley edging out progressive candidate Francesca Hong in the governor's race. Inflation dipped slightly last month compared to June from 3.5% to 3.4%. Prices, though, in many sectors still high, including groceries and transportation. And millions around the world getting a special treat today with a total solar eclipse visible across much of the northern hemisphere. This is ABC News.
Your roof is constantly exposed to the elements, battling dirt, algae, and stains. But with Watkins Construction and Roofing Roof Wash Service, you can keep it looking like new. A proprietary rooficide treatment is EPA approved, safe, and guaranteed to prevent algae from coming back for at least 2 years. No harsh chemicals, no damage, no black streaks. Just a clean, beautiful roof that lasts. Call Watkins Construction and Roofing at 601-966-8233 or visit nomoreroofstains.com today.
Delicious food and a relaxing atmosphere combine to make the best place for sports fans and foodie fans to watch the game and just hang out. Capitol Grill of Jackson. Of course they've got the games, but food, oh my goodness. Mouth-watering po' boys, fish, steaks, appetizers, and a specialty pizza menu. Kitchen opens at 5 Monday through Thursday and 11 Friday through Sunday. And happy hours are daily at Capitol Grill. Also enjoy the all-new Tuesday night and karaoke on Wednesday and Friday nights from 8 till midnight with DJ Money Mon. Capitol Grill, DeVille Plaza in Jackson.
Acme Pizza and Daiquiris is leveling up. A whole new Acme Pizza and Daiquiris is now open at the Reservoir at Beethoven's Boardwalk in Ridgeland, right next door to Cock of the Walk. And the new Acme Pizza and Daiquiris will have all of your old favorites too, like the Acme Dynamite Balls and Garlic Knots, and the best specialty pizzas ever, like the Pig, the Sergeant Pepperoni, the Surf and Turf, and lots more. Come to the
Dogfish, I don't know, man.
Pizza and Daiquiris location on the Reservoir.
Google it for me and put it in the chat.
Cock of the Walk.
30, 25, 20, 15, makes the man misses the 10 to the 5.
Can't make every game? The Mississippi State Mini Plan gives you the flexibility to choose the games that fit your schedule. Pick one game each month and get the season finale. Lock in your seats and save compared to single game pricing. Whether you're bringing your family or friends, the Mini Plan is for you. Get your Mini Plan today at hailstate.com/tickets.
And we are back here at the Andrew Gosser Show on 103.9 WYAB. You know, the media lies their behinds off to us every day. They do it every day. And, you know, I listen to ABC News and I listen to that report on Darlene Graham not getting 50% of the vote. And you think, man, she's going to be in deep trouble. She's a terrible candidate. She was endorsed by President Trump and didn't win. Ha ha. But then, like Paul Harvey, here's the rest of the story. Darlene Graham faced at least 5 other challengers in that primary. You want to talk about a jungle primary. She got 32.7% of a vote, 109,000 votes. Ralph Norman got 82,000 votes. Russell Fry got 65,700 votes. Mark Sanford, about 50,000 votes. Mark Lynch, about 19,000 votes. This is the oldest political trick in the book, ladies and gentlemen. I know it because I've watched it play out against me, and I've been on teams that we've actually used it against other people, establishment candidates. Oh, it was great when we put up a guy named Bob Miller against Bob Miller. Oh, it was beautiful. It was beautiful. Darlene Graham was the top vote getter in that primary, but if you listen to ABC News, you would have never known it. Ralph Norman is a great conservative too. Arguably, he is more conservative than Darlene Trump in all actuality, or Darlene Graham, excuse me. But Darlene Graham is all in for Save America Act and all in for Donald Trump, and that's what she's going to do. And I did like the quote that they used. She is not a politician. And she's going to go do what she wants to do. And if she uses her brother's built up political capital on votes like the Save America Act, well, then that's going to be good to go. But you know that Darlene has surrounded herself with all of Lindsay's staffers and staff and political advisors. So she's going to be okay. But I just wanted to go ahead and talk about that real quick. That fired me up. Now, Royce White, who was running for U.S. Senate in Minnesota yesterday, lost, didn't make it. He has a retired NBA player due to injury, I believe. He has declared himself for the WNBA draft, and I just want to play this little bit of sound right here.
I realized my fear of flying really wasn't a fear of flying. It was the transgender trapped inside of me, caged inside of me, that gave me an aversion to small spaces. I think there are plenty of people out there who have
that makes perfect sense.
A transgender trapped deep down inside of them, and so they think
they're
claustrophobic.
Every one of you, no, every one of you do. Let's just be.
Yeah, they think they're claustrophobic. Not really claustrophobic. It's the transgender that's trapped.
So he is now a very tall black man wearing a Dijonais wig. It is hilarious, ladies and gentlemen. And there's also another guy who has declared himself for the NBA draft. Enos. Oh man, I can't remember his name. I can't remember his name. But here, I got another clip. I want to play this because sometimes I know what I want to say, but if we can let the person say it himself, it's always that much better.
Only players who are women are eligible to play in the NBA, but in the over 400-page document doesn't define what a woman is. It seems the answer of what they do now is pretty clear. Would you agree?
Well, it's just astounding that the WNBA can't define the W in the name. And I think we're going through a very necessary conversation about who's actually eligible to play in some of these professional sports leagues, I guess on both sides of the gender spectrum. But my goal is to help elevate the WNBA. I think the ticket prices and the attendance, will soar. I think the audience, the live audience will increase. And I think ultimately it's good for the game. It's going to help evolve the game. I mean, who would argue that, a player like myself or an Enos Kanter, or, in the future, maybe even...
That's who it was. It was brother Enos Kanter. He's declaring himself for the draft, too. So you've got two professional NBA players declaring themselves eligible for the WNBA draft. And it's coming, ladies and gentlemen.
I don't know, LeBron James, after he expires in the NBA, maybe he wakes up one day and...
I got to stop this right here, because people call him King James. And let's just get one thing straight. Brother John, I know you're listening. I know all my brothers out there are listening. We all know who the GOAT is, and it ain't LeBron James. It's Michael Jordan. He is the absolute GOAT. Not even debatable. Not even doing it. But what LeBron James did to protect his daughter, dude, I have the utmost respect. And I've moved up LeBron on my top 10 of all time. Not because of anything he did on the court, but how he defended his daughter. He won't let his daughter play basketball with the women because of this sickness that is trans going through the black women community, the lesbian community. Look at that. You got two strong black men going up against this trans movement in the WNBA. It ain't the white dudes doing it. It's two black men with common sense. And shout out to King James, man, for not letting his daughter, and his daughter's playing volleyball. Now I'm going to go try to look up my daughter plays volleyball too. And she's pretty good at it, but I'm going to go, we watch volleyball matches all the time. We watch Ole Miss, but hey, it is what it is. And my daughter will sit there and say, Dad, see how she does this, how she does that. I want to go watch LeBron's daughter play now. And I cannot laud and heap enough praise on a father who's defending his daughter. I wish more men defended their daughters like LeBron James is defending his daughter in this instance. Now, there might be some other positions that I don't know about that I can't support, but in this instance, King James, yeah, good job, man.
Realizes he's a woman as well. who could argue that wouldn't make the women's game better?
So listen,
and that's the interview right there. And dude, it's just hilarious. Now, one thing about, and you can follow Royce White. I think his X account is just at Royce White. But you can go ahead and do a search for it. He ran for Senate and got crushed in Minnesota. And this is the one part where, again, I always talk about the good and the bad. I'm a straight shooter. I call it right down the middle. This is where I wish he would have ran for state senator or state rep. Not that that's where he's going to stay, but where he could build his name up inside Republican circles, because people who are looking at his campaign saying, oh, this is just a political stunt, I'm not going to give money. No, you run a race where you have a real chance to win, and you build your name up just a little bit, just to get a little bit of a street cred. Now, if he wanted to use his own millions of dollars that he made in the NBA to run for Senate, then yeah, that's great. Drop $15 million, you're going to win. That's what it's cost in a state like Minnesota. Alaska, not so much. You got a smaller voter population, smaller electoral population to work with. But that's what really kind of gets me sad when that stuff like that happens. Because, man, this guy's got a future, man. And he did an interview with Benny Johnson that you should look up. It's absolutely hilarious. And it's leave it to Black men to take down the trans movement in the United States, because now the WNBA is holding emergency meetings to figure out what a woman is, because in their collective bargaining agreement, they don't define what a woman is, but they protect trans women. So what is a woman? Help me out, Katanji.
Can you provide a definition for the word woman?
Can I provide a definition?
Mm-hmm.
No,
Yeah,
I can't.
you can't?
Not in
Okay.
this context.
So you
I'm not a
believe the meaning
biologist.
of the word woman?
You're not a biologist, but you were born with women bits. I was going to say something else. I was going to quote Kindergarten Cop, but I don't want to give the station manager, Matt, a heart attack. I know he's listening. But you were born a woman, and you can't say what a woman is. You know what? My daughter, who's 17, knows what a woman is. My granddaughter knows what a girl is. It's this sickness on the left that is infesting our culture, this transgenderism, this alternative lifestyle crap. It's destroying humanity. And we're just sitting here because we're so apathetic to all of it. You are listening to the Andrew Gosser Show on 103.9 WYAB. We'll be right back. We'll be right back.
Keep it tuned here to 103.9 WYAB.
Looking for adventure, amazing food, and a little relaxation all in one place? You'll find it at Cypress Point Resort in Brandon. Load up the family and experience a real drive-through safari, petting zoo, and thrilling guided Jeep tours. Then slow it down with mouth-watering steaks at the steakhouse, or grab drinks and live music at the tavern. Planning a wedding or reunion? Cypress Point Resort has beautiful venues and cozy lodging. Ready for your big day or just a weekend escape? It's everything you love about the outdoors with a touch of luxury. Cypress Point Resort. Wild fun right around the corner.
Imagine a day set apart for prayer, worship, and renewal. Reaching Beyond Ministries invites you to the Women's Prayer and Praise Break Conference, Thursday, September 24th at the 2 Mississippi Museums in downtown Jackson. Join women from our community for encouragement, fellowship, and faith-filled renewal as we pray for our city and beyond. Sponsorships, donations, and silent auction gifts are welcomed. For more information, email angelabutler01@gmail.com.
When leaks, clogs, or cold showers slow you down, call on Anglin Plumbing, the plumbing experts who get the job done right the first time. Leaky faucet, sink, or toilet? Need a water heater installed? Call on Anglin Plumbing. You can always trust Anglin's reliable and hardworking technicians. Don't let plumbing headaches ruin your day. Call on Anglin Plumbing Service to get it fixed. And you can be a part of the team. Anglin Plumbing is now hiring. Learn more about Anglin Plumbing at anglinplumbing.com.
If you want the best health care, where do you go?
the Mayo Clinic. If you want the best care for your vehicle, where do you go? Mayo Auto Clinic in Raymond. Mayo Auto Clinic does foreign and domestic vehicles and diesel repair. Mayo Auto Clinic has ASE certified techs with over 25 years of experience. You can extend the life of your car or truck when you take it to Mayo Auto Clinic. For cost-effective repairs and maintenance, go to the best, Mayo Auto Clinic. Open weekdays at 7 a.m. Highway 18 in Raymond.
This is Demario Davis from the New Orleans Saints. As a Brandon, Mississippi native, I've seen the positive effects Mercy House Adult and Teen Challenge has across the state. Help us restore broken families and fight against addiction by donating an unneeded vehicle, even if it doesn't run. Mercy House will pick it up for you. All paperwork is handled and you receive a tax deduction. Call 601-572-7296 or visit vehicledonationsms.com.
Thank you for helping us get our daddies back.
Got a car, truck, or SUV you are trying to sell? Well, we want to buy it. Hi, I'm Casey Ellis, owner of Ellis Autoplex in Brandon. Right now, we're paying top dollar for clean vehicles, and you don't have to buy anything from us. We'll appraise your vehicle, make you a strong offer, and you can walk away with a check.
Man, I appreciate everybody who tuned in today.
Maniacs,
hopefully you like the show.
Crazies here. Our checks are real. If you've been thinking about selling, well, now's the time. Ellis Autoplex in Brandon is home of Little Truck City. Follow us on Facebook or shop online, ellisautoplex.com.
This ad is for all the guys who work hard and they expect their truck to do the same. At RPT Commercial, we have the accessories to help you on the job site. From names like Bedrock flatbeds, WeatherGuard toolboxes, Nap-High service bodies, ARE camper tops, deck storage solutions, and so much more. Stop by our new store on Highway 80 in Pearl and check with our expert staff and see what they can do to make the job just a little bit easier on you. At RPT Commercial, trucks live here.
In the heart of Flora, there's a place where love, laughter, and comfort come with every cut, color, and style. At our family-owned salon, you're not just a client. You're part of the family. Come share a smile with Shelby, Henley, and Rhonda, ready to make you feel beautiful inside and out. Whether it's a fresh new look or a little time to relax, we've got the chair waiting for you. So step in and feel at home. Find us on Facebook at In Style Salon Flora.
Man, that song just makes me so happy. It just takes me to a special place. My sons and I would play FIFA 13, and we'd play the soundtracks, and just reminds me of a better place. You all, I'm sure, have music like that. It might be a little bit different than what I listen to, but hey, that's okay. That's all right. Look, you know, we've heard from the coach. We've heard from Royce White, but we haven't heard from Sophie Cunningham herself. Listen to this interview she gave where her coach wasn't anywhere near her.
Yeah, so Carrington is a dirty player, probably the dirtiest player in the league. And then she has the audacity to go online right after her ejection and claim that she got ejected because of racism. She definitely learned well from Angel Reese. Whenever something goes against you, just pull out that race card. I think she's jealous of my natural blonde hair. She'll never have this hair. I literally got clotheslined in the air, and this clown has to turn it into race. Her level of IQ needs to be studied for generations. But anyways, it was an easy dub for us.
Hey, Sophie, I'm going to be honest. I don't watch this garbage league, but I had to get in on the action after seeing that ejection. So I went all in on Kalshi for Indiana to win this game. I had some sweat coming out my cheeks at the end there. Don't make it that close again, buddy, or else I'm calling Enos Kanter to show you what's good. Thank you.
That's fine. I wouldn't watch this circus either. Literally, the only exciting thing about this league are the cat fights. Because we all know a middle school boys team can destroy any team in this league, especially when we got players who can't make wide open layups like Sid the Sloth. It truly is an embarrassment. Yeah.
And ladies and gentlemen, that circulated around Twitter. And there were actually some fools out there who thought that was real. They actually thought that was real. Ladies and gentlemen, that was AI. And you just heard the audio. You didn't see the video of it. Remember the other day when I said news is dead? And we talked about this last month. We had the countdown in July where AI was taking over what's real. There's not even an AI logo in this video. If it wasn't tagged as AI, unless you had a really good BS detector, you would have thought it was real. Ladies and gentlemen, it is absolutely insane. But what I love about this is taking one of Rush Limbaugh's statements to task. You know, good comedy has a bit of truth in it, and whoever did this is an absolute comedian and a genius. It might be someone just saying, "Make me a video of Sophie Cunningham dunking on WNBA transgenderism," and just let the AI go where the AI goes. But it leads me into one more point that I want to make before we cut out for the day. Let's make one more point. What are you going to consume today? Are you going to consume some of the words that we talked about? Are you going to go research what Islam is? Or are you going to worry about who the main character in the new Paw Patrol movie is going to be? Now, I know what my granddaughter is going to be looking up and can't wait to go see. Let me tell you what, you bring up Paw Patrol and the world stops, and Disney princesses as well. God, I love that girl. She's amazing. But again, it comes down to a 54-year-old grown man or a 3-year-old toddler. Where are you in that grand scheme of things? Some of you might be a little bit older than me. Some of you are probably a little bit younger than me. But consume stuff that's meaningful. Not all the rock gut BS that's out there that you have to sift through. Educate yourself. We need people who are educated now more than ever, ladies and gentlemen, now more than ever. I'll tell you what, if the rumors I'm hearing are true about the Sean Yurkaron show this Saturday, you are going to want to be tuned into that. I'm going to shoot out a text to him after the show today. But coming up next, we have the one, the only, Miss Lindsay Beckham. And ladies and gentlemen, I will be back in 22 hours with Brother Rick tomorrow. Until then, take care, everybody. Be blessed. Yes, and amen. Amen, ladies and gentlemen.